so it's clearly, as you say, rolling out the red carpet in style for him.
He appreciates that, presumably, from what you've heard and we've seen from previous visits.
Yes, I think that's right. And I think that this is something that Britain does rather well with its pageantry and so on. And I think they can be sure that they can provide him with a right royal welcome, as one might say.
It's been interesting to see him. He also had a great deal of respect for the late Queen Elizabeth II. But that sort of almost deference that you see him, put out, as it were, that he used to have for the Queen, he also seems to have transferred to the King as well. You would think he wouldn't necessarily share many views with, but he's obviously got a fascination with British monarchy in particular. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he's unique in that. I think that the monarchy is something that is a sort of ace in the British pack, really. And it's not something that a lot of other countries have. I think the sense of history, continuity, the whole idea of the monarchy is intriguing to a lot of people. And it's soft power that Britain can deploy to best effect.
There has been some very sensitive politics, as there always is, behind these meetings. The King's job, though, is to effectively just make him feel as welcome as possible. Is that right? And to stay away from the politics and effectively leave that until Thursday?
Yes, that's exactly right. And of course, that's what his mother, the Queen, did. They're extraordinarily accomplished at this. They are neutral politically in our system. They are, of course, the King and his mother, heads of state, and they are greeting a head of state. But they do not have a political role, as is the case in the United States. And so they will make sure that the president feels as welcome as they possibly can.
What sort, if you were organising this visit, which you would have been if you were in post at this time, what sort of advice would you be giving the Prime Minister to try to make sure the trip went as well as possible when clearly Keir Starmer's under massive political pressure? And there's this whole debate about freedom of speech that we've seen bubbling up in the UK and which Donald Trump may well address whilst he's over here.
Well, I think this visit was obviously set up a long time ago, towards the beginning of this year, and the political backdrop now is very different. And as you said in your introduction, it's difficult for the Prime Minister. But I think there are clear aims that he has for this visit, and I don't think they're particularly secret. He hopes on the internal and domestic front that it will produce good results for him economically. He's looking for some sorts of deals on tariffs, particularly on steel, I think, aluminium, whiskey, salmon, and hopes that the president will come through with good news on that. But he's also looking for a lot of inward investment. And this is a government that's emphasised throughout the need for growth in the British economy and is hoping that that will be contributed to in large measure by economic agreements with the United States. But I think there's a second volley to this, which is that the Prime Minister will hope to be able to talk to the president seriously and privately about big policy issues. Some of these we'll agree with the United States on, and some of them we certainly don't. And it's no secret that the British government and its predecessor, a different complexion of government, are passionately committed to the defense of Ukraine, deeply worried about the illegal invasion by the Russians, and see this as absolutely critical to the stability of the international order. And I think the Prime Minister will certainly want to talk to the President about that. There are issues on the Middle East. We do not necessarily see eye to eye in the way that things are happening in the Middle East. And there'll be discussions about China. So this is an opportunity for the Prime Minister both to address the domestic agenda as he sees it, but also to talk to the President in a frank and intimate way about big international issues. And if we're all right in assuming, and we're only assuming, that the relationship's, quite a close and easy one, this is obviously an excellent opportunity for him to address those issues.